Do your worst. And by your worst, I mean, please be gentle. Greetings, everyone. I am so excited. I am glad to be here, and I am glad that you are here. Today's jank is an historic. Kaladesh has arrived. Yes, that's right. It's Panharmonicon, and I could not be more excited. Ladies and gentlemen, have a look at this card. If an artifact or creature entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers a second time. On top of that, so we have 4 of those, but on top of that, Yarok the Desecrated, which of course has always been here. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, it triggers an additional time. So, what we're trying to set up here is Elemental Tribal. You folks have seen a lot of this deck, typically minus this. And then there are other things here, right? Typically, you know, it's Elemental Tribal doing things, right? Folks, this is so exciting because not only do we get Panharmonicon now, which is really awesome, but we also have Ruin Crab from Zendikar Rising. So one of the ways you could win before was you have a Risen Reef on the battlefield, you have a Zendikar's Roil on the battlefield, right? So every time a Risen Reef triggers, you know, because an elemental entered or something, if it was a land, it would go onto the battlefield, and then Zendikar's Roil triggers. Okay, so if you add either Yarok or Panharmonicon to the mix, it triggers twice, right? So Risen Reef will trigger twice, meaning your chances of just getting every card off the top of your deck and either to your hand or to the battlefield, making a million tutus is actually pretty reasonable. The fact that we have 4 Panharmonicons and 2 Yaroks means now we have 6 copies of this effect to make that really go crazy, right? So we have the combo, but that is really reliant on other factors, board presence factors and things like that. Ruin Crab, though, really isn't. And Ruin Crab doesn't require we kill our opponent in one turn. If we start going off with Zendikar's Roil, we can sometimes kill ourselves because we don't have Thassa's Oracle or the way to cast it or something like that, right? And then you can just die. So Ruin Crab, though, can potentially use a similar thing where the Risen Reef is just doing its thing, getting lots of land out of the battlefield. Ruin Crab just milling our opponent out, and it can happen pretty naturally. Pretty excited about that. Of course, Thassa blinks things at the end of the turn. I don't think I need to tell you why having enter the battlefield effects trigger a second time is good, especially when you can double them up. But newsflash, it is, right? So that's good. And the rest of this, pretty standard elemental things, you know, drawing cards, triggering elementals on our Risen Reef is the goal. Healer of the Glade, gaining life to keep us in the game, things like that. So needless to say, I couldn't be more excited, and I am thrilled that you get to be here with me as I experience it for the first time since Kaladesh dropped. So without further ado, let's get some games. Oh boy. Here we are up against Gaspel. Good luck, Gaspel. And yeah, I don't think we can keep this, folks. No green mana. We only have just the one swamp, and naturally we have that instead of a green mana. Well, we're gonna keep this because, darn it, these are all the cards we desperately wanted to see more than anything else. We're gonna send back the Yarok, believe it or not. Because this just costs less mana and is less mana restrictive and all that stuff, right? So, I think it makes the most sense to send that one to the bottom. They do the same thing here, right? All of our end of the battlefield effects are going to be pretty much covered here. So, notable exception, Ruin Crab. Not going to be doubled up with Panharmonicon. I guess it's possible we were supposed to go for it that way. But traditionally speaking, Ruin Crab's activations are going to be coming from the Risen Reefs there, so I would expect it's not a huge deal, but of course, you know, I guess that is worth considering. It's possible that was wrong. It's also possible we kept a hand that did nothing in Historic for, you know, 35 turns here. So we're destined to lose really quickly. Because, you know, Historic's a really fast format. But, alright, yeah. Well, Thassa's Oracle. Going to not actually scry 2, but basically scry 2. Unfortunately, we just sent our second Yarok to the bottom. Oh boy. That's not great. Opponent pushes our Oracle. Oh my word. Yeah, it's happening, folks. This is not great. Alright, well. Hinterland Harbor, go on ahead, opponent. Do your worst. And by your worst, I mean, please be gentle. Not quite what I had in mind, opponent. Not quite what I had in mind. Oof. Alright, GG, you got us, you got us. Alright, you got us. This is more like the sort of thing we were looking for. Yeah, I guess we're gonna hang on to it. I think we're just gonna send this in tapped for now. Hot Seas. Oh my goodness. That's brutal. Opponent looking at all of our stuff. Likely gonna just take the Yarok. But I could see the Zendikar's Roil. There's a case to be made for either of those. I don't think it's Leafkin Druid or Healer of the Glade unless they have more disruption. I expect them to have a lot more kill spells than Thoughtseize effects. So handling Leafkin Druid, likely not a problem. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Alright, folks, darn it. We need to see a Risen Reef in the worst way. I don't know what the deal is here, why we haven't seen one yet, but that's the reason we built this deck, darn it. So, you know. Big Baz, Maz, Kanawaz. Eyeing our Leafkin Druid. Does go for the Blood Chief's Thirst. Alright, fair enough. Turns out that was pretty wise. We're gonna go ahead, get down a Leafkin Druid. And I guess the Healer of the Glade as well. That way, next turn, if we do have the ability to slam a Thassa, we can start blinking the Healer of the Glade and at least get some value. Hey, there we go. Heck yeah. Thassa. This is wrong. We should have done combat first. Our opponent likely would have taken the 1. Now they might kill the Healer of the Glade just to prevent us from gaining the life. Okay, they didn't. So it turned out to not matter, but attacking pre-combat there was a mistake. Alright, life gained. Come on, Risen Reef. Off the top. You can do it. You can do it. Alright. Opponent. Passing the turn. Cycle. The Zagoth Triome. Well, I think we're going to crack this. We were waiting for a crab or something to do it, but I'm sick of drawing lands here. We actually don't have that many lands in this deck, so I don't know why our deck insists on giving these to us. But it is what it is. We're on 29, so there is that. Opponent gets a Blast Zone down. And a Clackbridge Troll. Alright. You've got it. Decline. Oh boy. Alright. Sure. We're going to go ahead and gain 6. Up to 35. Panharmonicon, ladies and gentlemen. Heck of a magic card. We do not have the ability to tap again this turn. But that's alright. I'm actually inclined to just take 8. It's just not that big of a deal. We're gaining 6 a turn, and we're on 35, right? So Clackbridge Troll coming down, hitting us down to 27 is not a huge deal. Oh, hey, there we go. All right, Yarok the Desecrated. We've got to make sure to tap the Leafkin Druid ourselves, because otherwise they would have left us with the creature untapped. Oh. Murderous Rider being mean. Alright, Thassa's Oracle. 3 loyal, or 3 devotion. Gonna Murderous Rider again? Heavens. Yes. Oh no! Dang it! I was just saying, yes, that's great, and then absolutely submitted 0, which is the wrong thing to do if we wanted to keep that card. Bummer. All right, opponent on 10, believe it or not. That said, the Murderous Rider's coming down, going to be able to gain our opponent quite a bit of life. We're going to decline. We dropped to 25. Come on, deck. Oh, hey. All right. All right. Yeah. This seems fine. I'm not thrilled about any of this, but here we are. We still need to find a Risen Reef. There are a whole mess of them in the deck. Blast Zone, gonna kill our 1-drop. Unfortunate. Yeah, let's just tap down. I guess the Clackbridge Troll. We gotta stop gaining life there. Decline. Alright. Opponent has another Blast Zone. Wow, okay. Alright. Thassa's Oracle. I mean, I don't really think we need any of these. Another Panharmonicon is awesome, but I think what we really need is a Risen Reef or something to start triggering it. Yeah, we're just gonna go bottom. Folks, we've been through half of our library. Not seen one yet. Alright, Thassa's Oracle. Come on back. Alright, let's see what you got. I mean, we're gonna keep the Alirios because that's at least a good... Oh, okay, there we go. Yes, no, Risen Reef is the one. Alirios would have been a fine one to keep, but Risen Reef is absolutely the one we want. Alright, Blast Zone gets a counter. Opponent trying to decide what to do here. I think they're just going to pop the Blast Zone. Yeah, to shut off our Leafkin Druid and all that kind of stuff, right? But in the meantime, we're just going to go ahead and tap down Clackbridge Troll. Our opponent has got two 2-for-1s with the land drop. Both of these Blast Zones have killed multiple things. Very annoying. Let's just hope our opponent doesn't have an immediate answer to this Risen Reef. We do have a lot more Risen Reefs to draw, though, and we're going to see quite a few cards here. Oh, that's a good one. Yes. Tapped. No attacks. Yeah. Panharmonicon gonna leave, or the Risen Reef gonna leave. Panharmonicon and Thassa, pretty nice here. All right. Yes, take the action onto the battlefield tapped. All right, Castle Locktwing gonna draw some cards, sure. Opponent drops to 15 there. Agonizing Remorse, get out of here, opponent. Not very nice. Darn it, darn it, darn it. Yeah, we really wanted that Tamiyo, folks. Really wanted that Tamiyo. All right. We'll let our opponent draw a card. Take our beats. Down to 21. Cavalier of Night. Darn it. Come on, man. All right. Cavalier of Gales. Yes. Those two. And these two. First card in the order will be the top card, so. All right. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, the ordering doesn't matter because we're going to crack the Fable Passage. So then they bring up the ordering screen, and I'm like, all right, I can't mess this up, right? You know. All right. All right. No attacks. Yeah, let's just Risen Reef. Because then the cards sometimes hit the... Yeah. Hit the battlefield, and we would like having extra lands on the battlefield here. Okay, this is a little bit of a crazy game here. And by a little bit, I mean, holy crud, this is insane. But, you know. Agonizing Remorse! Oh, my word. Oh, that's so brutal. All right, fortunately, our opponent can't do everything, right? Yeah, they recognize that. Start drawing some cards here. No, we're not going to gain the life, draw the card here. We're actually more afraid of that card than we are of the attack step. Our opponent's got quite a bit of life, which is not great. If they kill the Cavalier of Gales, we're, yeah, in a bit of trouble. But, okay. Yeah, we can do this. This is all right. Takes some damage. Opponent plops down a Gifted Aetherborn. All right. Oh, boy, that's a good one. All right, so let's start on Ruin Crab. Ruin Crab. Leafkin Druid. Okay. Okay. Healer of the Glade. Yep. Gain 6. Yeah. You know what? I think it's actually going to be better here just to get down the Alirios. Because I think we're going to make more 3/2s this turn. Just so that we can block as much as they've got and kill a whole mess of things. Right? As it stands, the opponent can kill our Cavalier of Gales, and that's not great. But we've got enough devotion now with Alirios that Thassa stays online. Yeah, got him! Because Thassa stays online as an indestructible 6/5 as long as they only have just the one removal spell. Of course, they kill Cavalier of Gales, that brings their devotion down to 5, but that's all that's required, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 devotion with Alirios, only 4 with Leafkin Druid. And our blocks get a lot worse if Cavalier of Gales goes away and Thassa is now not a creature anymore. Look at this, you know, take away these, because of course the other line was Leafkin Druid, try and mill them some more. But no, I think so I think this is definitely the right line. Our opponent agrees and scoops them up. GG. All right, folks. Here we are up against Polo Tolo. And yeah, I think we're going to hang on to this. We're actually going to start on Drowned Catacombs because that's a tap land until we draw an island or a swamp. And of course, this is neither and this is neither. Whereas both of these are now tap lands. So yeah, it delays our Healer of the Glade, but we're just not that worried about it. Grafdigger's Cage right out the gate. All right. I wonder if we're up against Mono Brown that's being that's using main deck Grafdigger's Cage to get around things like yeah, it appears so. Goblins and Collected Company style stuff. All right, well, they don't traditionally have a ton of interactions, so hopefully they don't do anything crazy this turn, and we can just get a ton of value on the upcoming turns. Though, admittedly, I don't know how we're going to beat the Ugin. I think we can beat an Ulamog, typically. The Ugin, I am less certain of. All right. All right. Yep. Well, opponent, let's see what you got. If it's big Ugin, we're probably just dead. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's just 7 mana right now. All right. Guardian Idol, number 2. Karn Sign of Urza. Coming on down as well. Opponent goes up to 24. Pluses. We give them, I guess, an Interplanar Beacon. And opponent looking over our stuff. Oh boy, interesting. Still no land, folks. Still no land. That's that is wild. Leafkin Druid coming on down. Opponent maintaining priority over there. Not quite sure why. They're yes, there we go. Finally some lands. Yeah, I think we're just going to keep doing this thing. We need to get our land counts up or refill our hand, either one. All right. We are going to go after Karn here. We're not going to pressure their life total anytime real soon here. Oh, darn it. That must mean they've got an Ugin. Okay. Doing their diligence. But they were looking at all of our mana costs. That traditionally means that opponent's about to play an Ugin. Wow, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not Ugin. Yeah, okay. That's just Karn the Great Creator. That's not great. They're going to go and get the Forsaken Sanctuary. And that feels terrible. But it is what it is, right? You can only do what you can do. Is the opponent not just immediately grabbing the Forsaken Sanctuary? I don't know what they would be getting if it weren't for the Forsaken Sanctuary. Opponent. Thinking things over. I really don't know. Maybe they're looking at... Oh, God Pharaoh statue? Oh my goodness. That must mean they drew it, I guess. Oh, whatever. Yarok and Panharmonicon in the same turn. Let's do this thing. Opponent doing some quick math. This is a lot of triggers. You are correct, opponent. This is a ton of triggers. Polo Tolo. Not liking the look of Yarok the Desecrated coming down, I guess. Please? Polo Tolo, can we have our priority back? All right. Yep, that's a land. Yep, that's a land as well. And that is not a land. All right, Zendikar's Roil, fair enough. Yeah, we're going to go after Karn, the Great Creator. Because none of the cards that are left in exile from Karn the Scion of Urza are that threatening. And we assume their sideboard is just chock full of goodies for Karn the Great Creator. Oh boy, there it is. They did in fact have it, and they have the Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. The reason they were spending so much time in their sideboard was just they didn't need anything else, right? They've already, they've got it all. Unfortunate. Man, oh man. Heavens, that feels bad. Well, is what it is. We're not going to throw in the towel just yet. We have avenues to get to victory from here. Not many of them. But we have ways of milling ourselves and still winning, right? The Thassa's Oracles, that's a very, very reasonable path to victory. So the Ulamog milling us out, not necessarily lethal if we can get things to go our way. So the first thing we're going to do is Zendikar's Roil, I think. And then Risen Reef. Yep, get some triggers. Another Risen Reef goes to hand. Another Risen Reef goes to hand. Oh, my word. Well, let's just go ahead and cast another one then. We're trying to get a Thassa's Oracle in hand and enough lands on the battlefield to really make things happen with this Risen Reef. Alright. But now I'm afraid we're not going to have the mana for it. Yeah. That was a mistake, wasn't it? We were supposed to go with the Healer of the Glade. Because now we've got too many triggers. We are going to mill out, but we're not going to have the mana. Oh, no, I guess not. We could have been declining these, huh? Oh, shoot. Oh, well. We're too deep now, folks. It's already too late. Yeah. Now, if we had gotten a Ruin Crab down beforehand, that also would have been victory. Oh, shoot. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, not going to quite get there. Yeah, I was thinking about getting set up for next turn for the win, right? That was the incorrect thing to do. Yuck. Yeah. Yeah. All right. We did it, folks. We did it. Yep. But we're a land short. There's our stupid Ruin Crab. But not going to do it. GG, opponent, folks. I feel like I threw that one away personally. One of those things where if I had had a few more reps with the deck, I think we easily could have won that if I had made the correct sequencing. But alas, I did not. GG, opponent, GG. Damn it, folks. Feels bad. Oh, well. GG. All right, folks. Here we are on Newfi Sniper. Good luck, Newfi Sniper. I think we're going to keep this. Yeah, you know what? Let's just do this thing right now. If they have a removal spell for it, Ruin Crab is really our backup plan, not our main plan. So we're not too broken up about that. But if we do, or if we have the ability to get going sooner on that backup plan, it makes the backup plan more likely. Oh boy, folks, it looks like we're going to be dealing with some energy nonsense. Yes, this is absolutely Risen Reef. It's also not close. This is likely to be the Aetherworks Marvel deck, I would expect. Sure, Harness Lightning. Gonna take care of Ruin Crab, that's all right. Oh my gosh. Wow. How unfortunate. Oof. And I don't think we can cycle the... Oh my goodness. Today has not been my best day. Aye, aye, aye. All right. We're going to slam a Panharmonicon this turn. It's likely that things get messy from here anyway. So, being able to get down a Risen Reef next turn and the tap land means Zendikar Roil. Okay, Rogue Refiner, sure. Opponent appears to just be playing like Teamer energy. All right. Risen Reef, do your thing, my friend. Do your thing. All right. Alirios Enraptured to the hand. Yep. Zagoth Triome to the battlefield. Another Zagoth Triome to the battlefield. No block or no attacks. Our opponent would get a free block there. We're not excited about that. We're not excited about that at all. Aether Hub. Nufi Sniper up to 8 energy. Opponent goes Reclaiming the Wastes. Reveals a forest. Another Rogue Refiner. All right. Up to 10 energy. Yeah, no. All right. Well, we're going to do this and possibly set ourselves up for a win next turn. We'll see what happens. But this very well may be good enough, depending. It's not guaranteed yet, but... All right, Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot going up to 18 energy. Heavens. All right. Yeah, no blocks. We'll drop to 11. All right, let's do this. See if it's good enough. All right. All right. So, here's what we're trying to do. Yep, sure enough. And Nufi Sniper scoops them up. Okay, so they sorted out what was going to happen here. For every elemental we make, we get 2 Risen Reef triggers. It's not guaranteed. We don't have enough lands for this to just automatically go off forever. But there's a pretty good chance this is going to go off for quite some time. As soon as we draw into another Healer of the Glade or another anything else, really, to get the chain started again, it's strongly possible we just draw our entire deck out and then we cast our Thassa's Oracle at the end. And this time, darn it, as opposed to last time, we actually have the mana to do it. So, GG, Nufi Sniper, GG. All right, folks, we're back. And, oh my gosh, I had a lot of fun. We had some really sweet games, including one that I think I'm actually certain I punted away. We had that game. We really did. But in my haste, did not think it through all the way before making the play. Oftentimes when you're making content, you feel like you got to keep the games moving and things to keep people from being bored, right? And darn it, sometimes you feel that pressure even when the pressure doesn't exist, and I messed that up. That is absolutely on me. So our record looked pretty reasonable as it is, but it could have even been any better if I hadn't just egregiously punted right before going off and winning the game. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, but it was a lot of fun. Things to change about the deck. Honestly, it played great, and it was a lot of fun, but I think that's the general power level of all the cards. It's quite possible here, folks, that I was really excited about the Ruin Crab package originally. It's possible we don't actually need this, and it's entirely possible we don't need all 4, right? So this could either be cut in favor of just more elementals or, you know, maybe trimmed down a little bit. They're really, really good in multiples, is why we had 4 originally. So if you get 2 Ruin Crabs and just play the video game, the way this deck is going to play, you're going to end up with quite a few lands on the battlefield. You could easily win. It didn't bear out that way in our games. With some more testing, it might. So that's possible. So it is possible, though, we might need, or it might be good to just add a little more elemental synergy as opposed to raw end of the battlefield synergies with like the Alirios and stuff. This could potentially be some elemental action. And if we cut the Ruin Crab package, we could have more elementals here as well. But all that being said, like, the Alirios actually performed really well, I felt. Was very, very good. And I didn't really have any complaints the way it played. So, that said, if you have suggestions for how you might play this deck, please let me know down below. I wouldn't say this is an extraordinarily new or exciting brew or something like that. You know, we've seen elemental decks in the past. I was just really, really excited to get to play Panharmonicon. I am so happy I had an opportunity to play Panharmonicon in this deck, because holy cow, it just warms my soul to get that much value off Risen Reef. I know oftentimes over the course of the last year or so, people have kind of gotten sick of seeing Simic colors be good. You know, there was the Hydrate Crisis nonsense. There was Nissu Shakes the World. Obviously, Oko, holy cow, only made it like a month. Then Uro still survived for quite some time. There was Growth Spirals and all kinds of, you know. So blue and green, powerful. You don't say, right? But darn it, this card specifically is a 3-mana 1/1. It gets to be powerful, right? The effect gets to be powerful on a 3-mana 1/1. So I just really, really enjoy the way this card plays, even if the other offenders in Simic in the past have been grossly broken. This card is powerful, but I think it's fair. And man, oh man, was it just so satisfying to get to play. Oh my word, I want to play some of this on stream. It's Friday, and I take Fridays off, so I'm not likely to have much opportunity to. But boy, oh boy, do I want to. Please, folks, I just want to play this deck more and more and more, you know? But we'll get to that later. So anyway, we're on the topic of the stream, I guess. I stream 5 nights a week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. I stream 4 hours a night. Ladies and gentlemen, 4 hours a night? That's like 20 hours of Magic minimum, right? And sometimes I go over a few minutes, right? You know, till 10:05 or 10:15 or 10:20 or, you know, whatever. So I'd love to have you out there. It's always a great environment, and just get to hang out with all the folks on the stream. Honestly, it is wonderful, and you'd probably really enjoy it. So come on out and do that. That said, it also really helps if you found this video entertaining or informative or anything like that. Just pop that like button. It probably, you know, it doesn't take any effort on your part. Just a little click. But it tells YouTube that, hey, this video was entertaining enough to recommend. Let's recommend it. So it really helps, especially a smaller channel like mine. It helps my channel a lot, so I really appreciate it. So that said, I really appreciate everybody who watched, and I will catch you later. Good night.